In this video, I'm going to guide you through how to uncover your life purpose. If you feel like you're lost, drifting about life, you're waking up every day with not a set sense of direction or meaning, you're craving some deep meaning in your life, you know that there's more to life, there's more to how you are living, but you just cannot quite put your finger on what it is. You haven't quite got a direction for all this energy that keeps accumulating. If you're a young male in your late teens, all the way up to your early to mid 30s, you have massive life force. These are prime and peak years. But if the energy has no direction, it turns to destruction. So this is why a lot of males today are struggling more than ever. Because we've got all this influx of energy, but we've got nowhere to direct it. Nowhere to place that energy. So that then transmutes into endless scrolling, porn addiction, binge drinking, binge eating, partying culture, just sleeping around with random women just to get a little hit. So we're just always craving for that little bit of hit, just to take away the pain for that little moment. Because a lot of our brains are hardwired on to either avoid pain or seek pleasure. So if we are feeling a lot of pain about our current circumstance and situation, we're going to keep reaching for the quick, easy pleasure, because the quick dopamine, the quick pleasure means for that moment you get pleasure and you eliminate some of your pain. So if our brain's hardwired for them two specific reasons, all our behaviour, human behaviour, is dictated from them two principles. You can study anything you do in your life and you'll uncover that everything you do is either to achieve pleasure or avoid pain. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to let you marinate on that thought. At the end of the video, I'm going to be asking you some coaching questions that you can do, that you can actually actively do yourself to dig deep and really try and uncover your deeper life purpose. Because I don't want you floating around with no meaning, because this is why male suicide rates are at the highest as well, because men don't have meaning anymore. Once you have a life purpose and you get out of bed with direction and meaning to your day, discipline becomes easy. Discipline isn't something that needs to be forced. Everything just starts moving, and you can wake up every day knowing that your inputs are building and contributing to something bigger than yourself. If you think about it, the modern world, or a man's traditional route would be you'd get initiated into manhood. There was ancient tribes that do things like vision quest. There's ancient tribes back in, I think it was South America, it might even be Africa. This is a common tradition. So when your boy's turning into a man, I'm not too sure what age it was. I think it's like when they start to hit puberty, back end of puberty, probably like 15, 16-year-old. They get pushed in the wild with a spear for a week and say, listen, you gotta survive. If you don't come back, you're not a man. If you come back, then you're initiated into the tribe and you're finally a man. You've passed your vision quest and your initiation into manhood. So that's how men were getting brought up. This is obviously way back in times when we were hunting to survive. But this coding is hardwired still into our DNA. We still have this hunter mindset. We're still as primitive as we was back then. We are not evolved enough for this like mass technology. So when we're blasting our brains with all these directions and all these distractions and all this information, it's doing nothing but suppressing us and pulling us away from that. But I believe the suppression is because we don't have purpose. Do you think when we was living to survive and we was hunting on the plains and we was living in the tribes, do you think we had time to worry about things and focus on, the bills and the money, and is she speaking to him and she's going out with him now, and oh no, the tax man. Obviously none of that stuff existed, but I think if it did, they're not going to really have much time to think about it, because the primary objective, especially for a man, is you're hunting. Every day you're thinking about hunting. You're with your boys, you're with your brothers, of course you've got time for a little bit of fun, but you're thinking about hunting. That's your primary objective. So men had meaning back then. It's way different now, but the principles stay the same. And even worse, we get pushed through the schooling system, the education system from a young age, and we're getting programmed with all this information. We get churned through the schooling system, get fed a load of bullshit information that is completely irrelevant to where we want to go in life. They don't have to give you any information about how to actually uncover your meaning in life, how to uncover a deeper purpose, how to actually tap into your creative essence and create and build meaningful things in the world. All they're doing is training you up to be a slave, to go through the traditional system of sit down, shut up, listen to the information being told at you at school, then you go through all the schooling system, you finish school at 18, you go to college, you get in loads of debt by getting a degree or studying at college, so you get yourself more in debt, so you tie yourself even deeper into the system. Now you have to get a job, a 9 to 5 to pay off the debt, so you don't actually get any money for the first 4 or 5 years of your working, and then you're saving up for a mortgage, so you save up, you buy the mortgage, then you're trapped even deeper into the system. And then you work all your life to pay it off in the hopes that the mortgage pays off and you get a pension, but then you've got to pass the house down to the kids, get taxed on it tenfold, and then you're hoping on this pension, which is absolute chicken feed, and then you just sit off, wait to die with your chicken feed of a pension that the government had gave you, and that's it, life is over. And life goes as fast as that. So if you don't want your life to look like that, then you're going to have to make some changes, because you've been programmed to believe that this is the only way to success. So you're going to have to undo that programming and start to expand your mind and see things a little bit differently and start to see the world a little bit differently. Nothing changes if nothing changes. But this is why we all feel lost. We leave school, we've been put through this brain-numbing education system for the past 10 years, and then we're just pushed into the society, right, go and be a man now, go and live. You've just been trained to be a robot and a slave for the past 10 years, and now you just got to be run free in the world and trying to have it all figured out. And the only thing you know how to do is to get a job to pay your bills, and then you're trapped in this job that you don't like to pay the bills, and you don't have much time to think about your purpose or your meaning in life, because you're worrying about bills and tax and getting a house and moving out and all this external pressure that is placed on you. But fellas, let me tell you, no one showed you what you can do with your energy. No one's uncovered your creative power that lies within. But I'm going to help you uncover that in today's video. So if you can stay with me just to the end of this video, I'll promise you it's not going to be any longer than 15 minutes. I'm going to try and wrap it up in that time. And at the end, I'm going to lead you with them coaching questions that I want you to spend some time aside, put some time aside, pen to paper, and really try and dig deep on what you want to do in this world, because time is passing by. And yeah, we might be eternal in spirit. That's a strong belief of mine, but that's not an excuse just to piss it all up the wall. This human experience is one of the best experiences you can have. So let's make the most of it, and think about the generations below, and think about the people around you. The more you level up your own life and invest in yourself, in your own growth, and especially now, like the potential we all have with the advancements in technology and how easy it is to make money and build a successful life for yourself with the endless opportunities that we have right now, you'd be a fool not to capitalize on it. You'd be a fool. A lot of men right now think that there's something wrong with them. We think that we're lost. We think that we've got problems. We're getting diagnosed with all these things. We're going on pills. We're feeling depressed. We're feeling low. But let me tell you something. You are not depressed. You are just misaligned. Once you get into alignment, depression doesn't exist. It disappears. Depression is your body's natural response, or your psyche's natural response to say you're doing something wrong. You need to change your lifestyle. You need to change what you're focusing on. You're placing your attention on the wrong things. Depression is just depressed is deep rest. So your body is going into deep rest. The reason your body is going into deep rest is because it's getting sick and tired of playing or trying to keep up with the play, the act that you are putting on, this person that you are trying to be or present to society. That it's an act. That's why you fall depressed. I'm just giving myself for example. Every time I felt depressed, it's because I was trying too hard to be something that I wasn't. Trying so hard to achieve a goal that wasn't aligned with my deeper core purpose. I was putting too much energy in the wrong things. When I do that, my body's natural response, I've had deep states of depression, in and out of it all my life, and that's just a signal for me now to say, right, I need to change something in my life right now. I need to realign myself. So I'd spend that deep rest to analyze my life and realign myself. Once I realign myself, the fire gets lit again, the purpose gets ignited again. I now have direction and meaning. How to know that you are misaligned and you're living life out of alignment with your highest purpose. So you wake up and nothing feels exciting. You have no real drive or pull. It feels like you're pushing your way through life. If you feel like you're pushing your way through life, then you're misaligned. Purpose feels like a pull. You're struggling to go to bed at night. You cannot wait to wake up in the morning again to go again. Like, that's what purpose feels like. And if you've never felt that before, then you need to shift your focus and attention on some different things. And you need to really dig deep and uncover what is this purpose that is going to be pulling you and fueling you every day. Work feels meaningless. So you're showing up and you feel like you're just doing it. You're just kind of moving through the motions and going around the clock, just doing things for the sake of doing them. You're numbing yourself with dopamine. If you're struggling with addiction, then this is really going to be a really good sure sign that you're misaligned. And once you be able to tap into the to purpose, the addictions then to start to simmer away. I'm not saying you're going to be completely free from all your vices as soon as you find your life purpose and your life gets transformed. Of course, there's going to be battle, but you no longer need to fill the space. You no longer need to fill the space. You no longer feel the need to numb yourself because you're no longer in pain at the fact that you are not living in alignment with your highest good. Constantly feeling like in the back of your mind that there must be something bigger than this. There must be more to life. There must be more I can do. Why do I not feel satisfied? I've done everything that people have told me to do, and there still feels like there's something missing. If you can relate to what I'm saying, the words that I'm saying, then I'm going to help you in this video. Or if you just give me the time to direct you to the things that need a little bit more of your attention. And if you can answer these questions and spend the time and invest in yourself today after this video, I can promise you now you're going to have some form of internal shift. When you finally find purpose, this is what gives you momentum. It's like you get fuel. It gives you that internal fuel. So discipline becomes way easier. Waking up earlier isn't a struggle because, once again, you want to get out of bed. You can't wait to get through this. Like a magnet pulling you. Money then becomes a tool. It isn't something you chase no longer. It's a tool that assists a mission. It's a tool that you use to propel you forward, to provide and invest into the bigger mission. Women become a complement. They become an addition to life, no longer a distraction, because the mission and purpose, that's your main priority. All your focus and attention is on that right now. So everything that comes out outside of that is just an addition. It's complementary. Same with the money. You no longer need to chase that because the mission provides that. If you've got a mission and you're pursuing something that is bigger than yourself, and you're being of service and you're providing value, money's just a byproduct of that. Money is just a clear representation of the value that you provide in the world. The more value you can put out into the world, the more money you will receive. And if you can start looking for money like that, okay, instead of saying how can I get more money, say how can I provide more value? Ask yourself that question. How can I create more of an impact in my life today and in the lives of others around me? What can I do? And you'll realize soon, once you start asking that question and not how can I get some money, and you start following through with the actions and providing more value and creating more impact in your life and the people around you, you'll start seeing that energy be reciprocated. This is how it works, cause and effect. The more you put out there, the more impact you create on other people's life, the more you're going to get back. And it's been created like that for a reason, because we feel good by providing other people with pleasure and creating meaningful impact in other people's lives. So that drives us to do it even more. That's going to be the fuel. That once you do it once, oh, that felt good, you want to do it again and again and again. Now, I won't do any other work unless it's no other work now fulfills me unless it is me being of service, me trying to help somebody out. Because I've done that and I've realised how good it makes me feel. It makes me feel a hell of a lot good being able to know that I am having an impact in somebody else's life. Even just one of you watching this video today, if I have some form of impact and you can actually make some behaviour changes following this video, then my work's done. You know, I feel a deep sense of gratitude for being able to do that. No wonder you feel depressed. We're here for deeper reasons, and I think all of us know that deep down. We want something deeper. We're trying to find the deeper meanings in life. I said this is going to be 15 minutes, so it's probably going to run a little bit over, but if you're still locked in for now, I appreciate your time. But if you're going through the system, it's like you wake up, you go to work, you come home, you have your tea, you scroll a little bit. You might even go to the gym, you mess about on your phone, you scroll on TikTok, you go to sleep, you do the same again, and then the weekend comes and you get your blank, work's been a bit shitty week, been a bit stressful, so you go to the pub with the boys, have a few pints, and you feel rough, then you've got to get up on Monday, do it again. Of course, your soul is saying, hold on mate, is this it? Is this what life has boiled down to? Really? Fix up. This isn't what we're meant to be doing. I mean, it's good in the short term. I mean, if you're just trying to secure the bag, there's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5 and having routine. I'm not pissing on that. But what I'm saying is, just know that that's not it. This isn't the end destination. This pain, if you are feeling the pain, this is the beginning of awakening. You have to bottom to reach the top. You have to bottom to reach the top. Because then you would then to start to, like I said at the start, associate more pain with losing and being of lack of purpose and being broke and being at the bottom. You associate more pain to that now, so you don't want to experience that ever again. So you're gonna do everything you can to take action on everything that avoids that pain. This is where a lot of people go wrong. People are trying to uncover their purpose by sit there, we'll just think a little bit, like think about it. What is my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? What about? Why can't I think about my purpose? What is my purpose? You can't think your way to purpose. You find your purpose through action and experimentation. What's the smallest step you can take in direction and alignment of your highest good? Take that action, and then once you start taking this action, you get a little bit of momentum, and then you start to feel a little bit something. You get a little bit more energy from this momentum, and then through action, experimentation, listening to the feedback, this is when your purpose starts to get uncovered. This is when you start to see it. It's not just you wake up in the morning like, I found my purpose, I am now alive. It doesn't work like that. Some people may have them realizations, but I've never heard it to work like that. You don't find your purpose by thinking or finding it out by thinking your way there. Just like anything, you can't think your way out of a paper bag, can you? So engage with life. You need to do something to create momentum. You need to be taking action. But it's like, okay, well, where do I take action? And this is what I'm going to be helping you uncover right now. So a powerful reframe to have before we do all go into these questions is purpose doesn't have to mean saving the world or making £1 million or changing millions of lives. It doesn't need to be something grandiose like this. It could just be simply like, right, my purpose right now is to become the best version of myself. What does that look like? Write that down, put it onto paper. I really want to know. I really want to uncover the best version of myself. So I'm going to start hitting the gym. So I'm going to start eating right. I'm going to start getting my energy right. I'm going to start feeding myself with positive information. I'm going to start writing more. You know, what can I do? How can I become the best version of myself? What does that even look like? That could be your purpose. And might not be forever. You might get to the destination and something else uncovers it. Helping people that are just 5 steps behind. You might have a brother that's, by a brother, a sibling, or you're just someone you know and they're struggling right now. Your purpose could be to help them with a life, something that they're struggling with within their life. Just be mastering your craft. You could be really good at something. You could be in a trade. That could be your purpose by mastering that craft. Like martial arts or sports. That could be your purpose. You don't even need to be a superstar, compete UFC champion. Your purpose might just be to be the best martial artist you can possibly be. So try and link these up. Try and take away the expectations and try and link it up to what potentially could be aligned with you. What really lights you up? What gets you excited right now? What really gets you excited and fired up in life? It's direction plus meaning. You're heading in a direction and the direction you're heading in has meaning. That's purpose in its simplest form. Right, I'm going to jump into the coaching questions. This is where we're going to finish it out. So I'm going to fire out some questions. Get a pen and pen next to you right now. Write these questions down. You can answer them whilst I'm on the video, but I'm going to leave them with you. So it'd be probably better to sit with these and ponder on these questions. But I'm going to write it down for you now. I'm going to give these questions quick fire. Okay. So this is an identity question. So who were you before the world told you who to be? Try and tap into the inner child within yourself. Try and really tap in and uncover what you are into on a deepest core level before you all this programming and the schooling and society, like the prime teenage years. Think about what your best years were in your life, where you felt like so alive and your fondest memories. What were you doing at this time? What were you doing? Dig up these emotions, these feelings, these memories, and try and really uncover who you are at your deepest core level before the world told you who to be. Second question, when do you feel most like yourself? When do you feel most like yourself? Is it an activity that you're doing? Is it when you're singing, and when you're home alone, when you're writing, when you're having a conversation with this person, when you're at work doing it, whatever that is? Write it down. What struggles have you faced in your own life that has completely changed you? Has there been a moment where you hit rock bottom and you've gone through this struggle, you've overcome it, and your life's not been the same since? Write that down. And then the second question on the back end of that is, what did them lessons teach you when you went through this moment in your life? Next question was, through you overcoming this struggle, how could you then help other people overcome the same thing too? You've solved the problem. You've overcome it. How can you then help others overcome the same thing that you once struggled with? Next question. If money and status didn't exist, where would you spend your time? What would you spend your time doing if money and status did not exist? Next one. What story would make you proud to tell your grandkids at 80 years old, and you could sit back on the armchair, cigar lit, and you're telling your grandkids? What story would really, really make you proud to tell your grandkids? Now, genuinely bothers you, or problems you can see around you, or problems in your own life that you are on the path or working through trying to solve. What problems, deep-rooted problems, core problems that you or other people are struggling with that you deeply care about and you deeply connect to? I'm going to do 2 more questions. What comes effortless to you? What do you find really, really easy to do? What is like second nature? And it's sometimes hard to answer this question because you do it that easily and you do it quite often. But answer the question, what comes really, really easy to you? What do you find you can just keep showing up to effortlessly? You can keep doing effortlessly and you enjoy it all the time. Finally, what person do you want to become through this process? What person do you want to become through this process? Who do you want to become through this process? There is a quote that aligns nicely with this. It's not what you do, it's who you become. Who you become along the way on the path to attaining these goals is where the magic lies. It's the transformation you make within yourself. If you can answer these questions, really sit with them, actually start to take action on it. uncover it and say, right, okay, brilliant. But then we need to apply some action, otherwise we don't get any. So you just need a direction now. That's it. You just need somewhere to go, somewhere to head, somewhere to place your energy. And even if it is just starting to the gym, start going to the gym every day. Start going to the gym even twice a week. Pick up a new book. Start creating things. Maybe start a new hobby. Just do something. Make some change. If you do not make a change, nothing will change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So what can you do? What's the smallest needle moving task that you can do today to start making a bit of momentum? So I'm going to finish it on that and wrap it up on that. All right, I'm going to leave you on that, Earth Ones. If you want to contact me personally, emails down below. Got a free ebook on how to regulate the nervous system to get you out of fight or flight and out of survival. I'm going to put that for free down below. And I'm going to sign out on that, Earth Ones. Peace.